Hey CD11, welcome to your weekly update. This week coming to you from Tony P's Dockside Grill in Marina del Rey. After 30 incredible years as an anchor here in the marina, Tony P's is going to be closing their doors at the end of this month. So we're out here with the entire CD11 team holding our staff meeting and saying goodbye to Tony and our friends at Tony P's. It was another busy week at City Hall and across CD11, so let's dive in. We finally had some movement on the vanlord motion I introduced all the way back in 2023. As we've talked a lot about, this is an effort to shut down operations by predatory vanlords who rent out broke down junker RVs that end up in encampments or parked on neighborhood streets for months or years on end. These operators charge hundreds of dollars a month for unsafe, unsanitary conditions that are choking our curb space, polluting our environment, and creating unacceptable fire and safety risks. My plan closes the loophole that lets them get away with this and makes it clear you cannot run an RV rental business on city streets. The Transportation Committee adopted amendments to increase the civil penalties and allow criminal prosecution for the worst offenders. We're going after the vanlords and we're not letting up. The City Council also unanimously passed my legislation to improve safety at our local libraries. This new policy calls for enhanced security, workplace violence prevention plans, and better training across our library system. Everyone deserves to feel safe in a public library, especially our children, seniors, and the staff who serve the public. After highly disturbing reports last weekend of tour buses driving through the Palisades to gawk at burned homes and devastated neighborhoods, I introduced legislation to ban such operations in neighborhoods recovering from disasters. Profiting from tragedy is despicable and has no place in our city. Protecting people's privacy, safety, and dignity as they rebuild remains my priority. We also had a terrible incident this week where an innocent gardener was violently attacked and beaten by a homeless man. The victim ended up with 8 staples in his head and a broken arm. As soon as we heard what happened, your CD11 team was on the ground in the area, posting warning notices and talking to neighbors. Our deepest gratitude goes to the neighbor who located this individual, and our concern remains with the victim, who is still recovering. Squatters in vacant homes, commercial buildings, and construction sites are a huge problem across the city and even the West Side. We regularly see crime, vandalism, and fires at these locations, and we all remember the fatal fire caused by squatters in Del Rey last year. For well over a year, CD11 has been identifying these nuisance properties and working with the owners in city departments to secure them. If you're aware of trespassing or squatting, please immediately report it to LAPD and let our office know. The process to get squatters out can be complicated and time-consuming, which is another huge problem itself. But my team and I are working hard to overhaul the city's procedures. But in the meantime, your vigilance and letting police and our office know can help us get the problem addressed more quickly. CD11 also appeared at the Board of Public Works to support the proposed Trocaro Monument at Windward Circle, a tribute to the Mexican-American rail workers who helped build California and Venice into what we are today. My office committed $10,000 in arts funding, and we'll keep working closely with the applicant to help make this happen. Speaking of Public Works, this week we welcomed the Board of Public Works to CD11 for a special town hall meeting. All 5 of its bureaus, sanitation, street services, engineering, contract administration, and street lighting, were on hand to speak directly with the community about their work, including projects and priorities here in our district. The board took public comment, answered questions, and laid out the operational challenges they'll be facing under the city's new budget cuts. It will be tough, and that's why I voted no on the budget, but we have to make it work. Finally, this week, we lost a hero. In the early hours on Monday morning, West LAPD Sergeant Shu Dang, a 26-year veteran, was tragically killed while responding to a traffic accident on the 405 freeway. I spent some time with the officers at West LA this week, And I close Tuesday's council meeting by adjourning in Sergeant Ding's memory and honoring his selfless service. I and our CD11 family, our LAPD family, and our city family want to express our deepest condolences and support to Sergeant Ding's wife and parents, his stepdaughter and his siblings. I want them to know that we will never forget his dedication to our city and the sacrifice that he made. May he rest in peace. Have a good weekend, CD11. Stay safe, and I'll be back next week with more updates.